Back here at home, an inmate at the Grand Forks County Correctional Center is facing additional charges after being accused of distributing fentanyl. Jeremy Castrano made his first court appearance today. On the Grand Forks Narcotics Task Force responded to the jailhouse on December 2nd as 2 inmates had overdosed. They were given Narcan and taken to the hospital. Now, court records, state surveillance video shows that he was returning to the jail after a court appearance with paperwork in hand. He and 2 inmates who overdosed walked into a cell together. Video shows that he walked out 10 minutes later. Soon after, the 2 inmates were found unresponsive. Agents tested the paperwork and it came back positive for fentanyl. He's due in court next on April 21st.